That's a terrible photo. What's meth like? I don't know. But I'm going to find out when the deer head finally gets here. Me and deer head, we got plans to do that. We got a couple plans. We're going to do shit like that. I mean, whoops. Not like this has anything to do with deer head, but when you get these neighbors that I mean, they could be, if they wanted to, they could be first class pieces of pussy, but they choose to be bad eggs, like in Willy Wonka. Did you ever meet a bitch like that and you'd be like, there's something wrong here? I think she got the wrong impression. Why? I've never met a somewhat decent chick that insists on being a cunt. Why? And it seems like she's a cunt to her boyfriend too. Like she never learned how to be a fucking chick. It's really sad. You know? And he's so ugly, this fucker up here, that that must be a prize for him to have a somewhat white chick, and she just bullies his ass around, and he's okay, I'm a 12 fucking tool. I'll never get another bitch, okay. And it's pathetic. Deerhead though. If Deerhead was here, she'd take care of that. She'd be like, okay, I will fucking break your fucking nose, bitch. Don't fuck with me. Because Deerhead's got those long, beautiful fucking limbs and shit. She'll just hit you with that deer hoof, and you'll be like, I will punch you in the face. So you don't talk to Thanatos like that. Thanatos has gone out of his way to make our lives beautiful. I'm used to my bitches like that, my subservient. So it's a mind melter. You're just like, what the fuck? But I think it's just showing off for the boyfriend. See, I love you, huh? I love you. I'm gonna disrespect him. She wants me, bro. She does not want you. It's just too much to untangle the shit. And every idea I give, he goes and I mean, I guess that's good, but I mean, that was my idea. I was gonna get Mealbot the dog. I was gonna get Mealbot the cat. Every time I mention it, he goes and does it. Just use your brain, dude. You just use your fucking brain. Some 1950s shit. Get her some candy, get her some dogs and cats. That's what you do. Don't rely on me. Now you gotta take her out to that steak dinner I keep telling you about, though. But I see you don't have a job, and you shouldn't even be fulfilling pussy like that. You just sit around the house all day smoking those shitty cigars. And I just want to blow this motherfucker up. Wait till my deerhead gets here. And the Z-Bot. Be bullying your bitch around. Correct that fucking mentality right quick. Knock your head off, bitch, with my hoof. Break your goddamn face, bitch. You unhappy bitch. Deerhead's back, dude. Every time she gets out of jail, I just keep my fingers crossed that maybe she'll stop by. But she's never out. She's not out but a minute, but she has to go straight back in. It sucks. This time, get out of here. This time, Deerhead, make sure you don't go to jail. I told you, if you fear you go to jail, just come hang out with me. I'll hide you. Dustin's like, you gonna hide my daughter from me? Yes, I will, dude. I was glad to hear you got out, though. You gotta come see me with the Z-Bot, too. And the Mellobot. Saturday, I got like, what's today? What the fuck is today? The 18th? So I basically got like 20 some days to go before I can get high again. Did you see how long that lasted last time? Like 2 seconds. Ooh, I just want to cry.
Get away from the bathroom. I'm sleeping.
Fuck you. Light this shit on fire. I can stop it out, dickhead. Y'all motherfuckers need to learn how to love your own ugly ass girlfriends on your own terms. Don't rely on me. Don't ever rely on me. Coconut fuck. You're coconut fuck the second. How's that feel? Got those shitty coconut cigars. You got the brains. No, coconut's got more brains than you, but you're a wannabe coconut. You can't even do that. You don't have it in you. Who misses coconut? Does everybody want to bring coconut back? I do. Coconut's gone, though. Don't come back, coconut. Wait till I'm gone. I've been pulling this snot out of my nose for 20 minutes. Would you like that one, finger popping time? I'm almost running out of songs with you. I have to dig deep down the recesses of my brain to help you with that. See, I had that date the other night, and I just remembered, man, I gotta turn the air conditioner down because the bitches don't like that. I do, though. I'm used to having my head, and I decided to tell her about how I became a targeted individual. I used to date her when I was young, but she was looking at me like I had fucking 5 heads. She's like, okay. And I was telling her I wasn't born in 19 blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yes, you were. And I'm like, yeah, we think that. But it's not true. I was actually born 2 years later, and that's not really my name, and that's not really my father. And she's just looking at me like, because she's known me my whole life, and I'm like, yeah, how do you think I fucking feel? And then I decided to tell her about stellar weapons and energy weapons and microwave towers and 5G towers, and she's just like, okay, I gotta go. No, she didn't, but she looked like she wanted to. And I looked at her and I go, look at my eyes. My eyes are all fucked up now, like I had a concussion. They weren't like that when I was a kid. And she just looked at me and I'm like, yeah. Because that's what happens. They rock you with that shit, and people come out of that looking like they had a concussion. My own mother said it to me before I went to the nut ward. She brought me there to protect me. She's like, you don't look good. You don't look right. And I didn't know what she was talking about. I'm like, what do you mean I don't look right? What are you talking about? Waking up in the nut ward from COVID? Oh, dude, first I overdosed on poison. Well, that's what they said it was. Let's just say I overdosed on something, okay? We'll keep it fair. I didn't take anything that night. But I remember, dude, when you watch Cops, when you used to watch Cops and you seen people flipping out and flopping on the sidewalk like a fish out of water, that's what happened to me. Oh, and the cops are going, sit still, and they got their gun on me, and I'm like, I can't, because for some reason I just couldn't. The last thing I remember, ambulance getting there, they load me in there, and then the second they put that needle in, it was like, oh, thank God. So I woke up 4 or 5 days later. They were just taking the tube out my mouth, and that made me cough for weeks. I fucked up my throat. And my mom's sitting there, and they're like, oh, you know, you died, and blah, 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 you came back to life. And I'm like, where's the cat? Where's my computer? She got all that. And COVID's just going on. This was 2 years ago. It was just starting up. So the only people I know you're not going to believe this, in the fucking nut ward were people assigned there to protect or watch me or see what was going on, along with maybe 1 or 2 other real fucking nutcases, because nobody wants to be in the nut ward when COVID's going on, because the nut ward is pretty locked down and it's pretty boring and punitive on a good day. During COVID, everyone's wearing masks. I wake up, they're all wearing masks. I only recognize people by their eyes, and it was fucking scary, actually. Everyone had a fucking mask on. No activities, because that meant, so it was, 16 hours a day of no books, no music, no television, just laying around because it's COVID. Until I was like the last motherfucker there, and then I went outside. I found the little exit, because I used to go up there to visit my girlfriend. I knew the place really well, so I kind of snuck out, sort of. And then they seen me there, and they decided, well, fuck it, we'll open the door and let everybody out. There's people in there asking me about targeted individual shit, and I hadn't even known yet. I hadn't really understood. And I'm just like, I don't know. And she's like, where are you going to go when they open the door? I'm like, I'm going to go just about anywhere I can. I don't give a fuck at this point. I got to get out of here, because it was a beautiful day. And you don't want to be in a nut ward when COVID's going on. It's fucking weird. I was on the phone every 2 seconds, just kept calling my mother back, because I was just so fucking bored. Even the food was fucked up, how they prepared it, because it was just bizarre. But maybe I shouldn't talk about that shit. I normally don't, but she got me going. But I don't give a fuck, I really don't. I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad I made it, but besides that, I don't really give a fuck. You should sue somebody. you should be worried about this and that. It's like, I don't have time to. They'll fry me even harder if I fucking retort. That's what fry me means. When they rock you with that shit, you'll feel the vibrating. And it will feel like there's someone upstairs running around everywhere you step, or someone downstairs. And then you'll feel the floor, and you'll realize the floor is sealed from end to end, and it doesn't have buoyancy like that. And you're thinking, how the fuck can this be shaking? It's you shaking. They can do it inside a house, and all the other people won't feel nothing. And that's how. And it seems like they just do it on some kind of weird schedule for no reason, regardless of how you act. It's like you're on the list, you're gonna get it, and that's it. It's fucking weird, dude. They love that microwave, though. U.S. military bought it first in 1979. There were like 1 in 4 people that had it. Those towers, that technology that we're using now. Now the whole globe's got it. They bought it for like $4 billion or something. Something somewhat cheap. Now everybody's got it. In Germany, they're learning how to project. And I was telling her how all the trap houses were wired like a ferret cage, like a Nikola Tesla. And then she just looked like, and I'm like, you've never heard of such a thing? That's how big government controls the ghetto. The house is just basically wired in a fucking coil. You could see when I first moved here off the street, and they did all the lines since I got here. They undid it. I don't know why, but I'm fucking glad. And from the roof all the way down, it'd be wired in fucking coils. Make this shit electric. That's how they control shit. And they literally will shrink your dick. You don't want to hear what they do to the pussies. I ain't making this up. You can look it up if this info is still available on Google. It's control. Pussy equals money, and how and they're trying to place me in the system right now. So I got to see it all. But when it's wired like that, you can feel the heat, dude. It feels like your brain is on fire. I love the term brain on fire. I used to like the concept of girl on fire with brain on fire. That's what they do. I remember in 2015 when it started, early 2015, I could be walking down the street with my friend and just buckets of sweat and buckets of... They're cooking you. They're cooking your fucking brains. That's what it does, man. And so this info is readily available. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what the fuck they do. Those people with tinfoil and shit, that's fucking real. The tinfoil I don't think is going to help you. I mean, if you get enough of it in a room, but they used to run down to the basement. Coconut knew. I'm not going to... Maybe he didn't, but everybody knew to get to the basement. The people on the street won't even walk on the sidewalk on that day when they're doing it. They'll walk in the fucking road. The people know. I wouldn't. I would just refuse because I had gone so long and so far into this shit. It was natural for me. It'd be like a ghost town. I'd be the only motherfucker in this house, and it's like, where's everybody? They're all in the basement. Fucked up, innit? Yeah. There's still a lot of unanswered questions I get. Like, why do these people come to me? Why do they flock to me for that? There must be a reason for it. I still have yet to figure it out. What was the reason? I didn't trust anybody at that point. Hell no. Yeah. But there's more to life than that shit. While you're alive, you should enjoy life, if at all possible. But they destroy your public image so that you probably never will have another friend again, unless they are in fact too a TI that just has no name and no birth date, no future. You know, it's kind of depressing. But I mean, even still, you're fucking crazy. It don't matter. It doesn't occupy that much time in my brain. I mean, I accepted it. I read all the literature while I was, especially this past summer. I just read endlessly about it. And it's sad, and it makes you sad, but that's about it. You just get over it. You're like, I'm still here. A lot of people don't even make it this far without brain cancer or just killing themselves or jumping out a fucking window. Me? Nah, it's just a mistake, and it's a misunderstanding. People like me will survive. A lot of them do, but 80% of them just don't. You might as well kiss your ass goodbye. Kiss your ass goodbye. It's real basic shit for the U.S. Army. I mean, we're talking about technology from the late 1800s when electricity first, when people were first fighting over the patents for it. This shit is not Star Wars. I mean, it's interesting and shit like that, but you enjoy that 5G on your phone, huh? Every time I hear that term, a cold fucking shiver runs up my spine. I just, yeah, the big towers, and they gotta pay those in order to pay, to pay the cost to generate, because it generates so much. It's expensive, but it's gotta run to justify the cost, so they gotta run it. It's a real fucked up scenario. And in Germany, like I was saying, they're actually making a city that has a whole electrical top. Look this up. All electric, and they're claiming it's for this, but it's also for that. But it's too late, because I think 5 or 6 countries have those towers. Oh, yeah, of course they do. Have those towers now, and the ability to do it. They talk about how shit dim, next to the towers, lights will dim like it was an electric chair or something. I believe it. It generates so much fucking power, and they can track your head. The beam is the laser beam they use. It's not really a laser, whatever they call that. It doesn't, a beam of energy. It doesn't bend, no matter how long you throw it or how long its continuum is. It doesn't bend or fragment. It will always hit its core. Always. They say the only way a lot of people feel it underneath their feet, which is kind of, I almost get that. There's some motherfuckers I read that when they go outside, they can feel that. And then they start to suspect it's their neighbors. You want to see something else too? I'll show you later. Down there, I'm sitting on the porch 3 years ago when I first got here. There's a picket fence next to me with not picket, but it's got the stockade fencing type with wood. I look over, and there's a fucking hole like this that's smoking and flame coming. It's on fire. And I'm thinking, how the fuck did this look? So after staring at it, I go upstairs, I get a pan of water, and I put it out, and you could still see it. There's a fucking ginormous hole. I saw it over there too. And they kept asking me about their laser with your neighbor. I'm like, everybody thinks it's the neighbors. They can do that from miles and miles and miles and miles away because it's so fucking accurate. Your first thought is your neighbors, because people can do it. That's how, yeah, with a basic knowledge of electronics and shit like that, or whatever they call that. But it's not. And chances are, if you're in a spot like this and it's happening to you, there's others that are around that. Somebody reported you. You got on a list. Somebody reported you. But like I said, all you can do about it is, you can get depressed and you can kill yourself, or you can just live life. Would you believe all that? It's depressing at best, isn't it?